The 10,000-hour lie, you probably heard it before. To become an expert at anything, you need to put in 10,000 hours. Practice, practice, practice. That's the secret to success, right? But what if everything you thought about the 10,000-hour rule is wrong? Today, we'll uncover the truth behind the 10,000-hour myth and why this popular idea might be holding you back more than helping. Get ready to challenge what you believe about hard work, talent, and success. The idea of 10,000 hours was popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers. He claimed that it takes roughly 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to master a skill. The message sounded simple: work hard enough and you can become anything. This inspired millions to commit themselves to relentless practice. But what if this famous idea is based on a misunderstanding of success, effort, and human potential? Stick around as we debunk common misconceptions and discover what Gladwell himself now thinks of the 10,000-hour rule. We all want a simple formula for achievement, and the 10,000-hour rule provides an easy framework. But does it really work? Is there any real evidence to support this claim? Gladwell cites research by Anders Ericsson, a psychologist who studied violinists at an academy in Berlin. On average, successful soloists had practiced for around 10,000 hours, more than their less successful peers by age 40. However, does this mean that 10,000 hours of practice is the cause of their success rather than a consequence of it? Correlation doesn't equal causation. Now, let's take a closer look at the supposed secret to success. Practice. What does it really mean to practice? Is it possible to put in hours without actually improving? Ericsson defines deliberate practice as intensive, highly focused efforts aimed at improving specific aspects of performance. It involves conscious and deliberate efforts to master a skill through focused repetition and feedback. Now, compare that to simply putting in hours without that focused intention. You might think that all practice is created equal, but that's not the case. Ericsson found that deliberate practice leads to more rapid improvement and higher levels of expertise than simply putting in hours. But he also acknowledged that some people require fewer hours of practice than others to reach the same level of expertise. So, why do some people need fewer hours? The answer lies in the concept of natural talent. In Gladwell's book, he presents an example of a hockey player named Chris Chelios. Through researching the NHL, Gladwell discovered that most players who made it to the league had been born in January and February. At first glance, this seemed like a statistical fluke. But after digging deeper, he learned that most states allow players to be born in January or February, because they were the last months in which they could be eligible for the upcoming season. As a result, many parents would choose to wait until those months to give their child the best chance at being drafted. This meant that these players weren't necessarily more talented, they simply had more opportunities. But in sports, being a few inches taller or having explosive power can make a world of difference. These physical advantages are determined by genetics, which means that some people are predisposed to excel in certain fields regardless of their effort. While anyone can become reasonably good at something with enough practice, only those with exceptional gifts will reach true mastery. We must acknowledge that some things are impossible to learn if you don't have the natural ability. Take, for instance, becoming a great ballet dancer. Genetics play a significant role in flexibility, bone structure, and muscle composition. No amount of practice can overcome someone who has inflexible bones or lacks the necessary body type for ballet. Similarly, someone without perfect pitch may never be able to recognize or reproduce complex musical intervals, no matter how much effort they put in. These are just two examples of many. Now, let's examine another critical factor: environment. Two identical twins with the same natural talents will not always achieve the same level of expertise if they grow up in different environments. Access to quality training, coaching, nutrition, and other resources can significantly impact a person's development and mastery of a skill. It's easier to become a world-class tennis player if you grew up in a wealthy family with access to exclusive coaching and training facilities. However, this raises an ethical question. Is it fair for socioeconomic status to determine one's ability to succeed? No, it's not. Gladwell argues that socioeconomic status is a result of privilege and discrimination, which creates an uneven playing field. Even within similar socioeconomic backgrounds, external factors like cultural biases and stereotypes can limit a person's potential. But the truth is, whether it's genes, coaching, nutrition, or exposure to opportunities, talent is a combination of nature and nurture. Sometimes you just happen to be dealt a good hand. What about luck? Gladwell acknowledges the role of luck, calling it the hidden advantage. Those who practice 10,000 hours might not become masters if they lack opportunity or exposure to key resources. Life circumstances can drastically affect one's chances of success. After analyzing numerous outliers, Gladwell concluded that most successful people have a combination of three factors: talent, opportunity, and cultural legacy. Talent includes both innate ability and acquired skills. Opportunity encompasses chance, access to resources, and networks. Cultural legacy refers to the influence of cultural shifts or changes that allow for the rise of new possibilities. Gladwell argues that success is a result of personal effort combined with situational advantages, not just sheer willpower. Let's look at Steve Jobs. He didn't put in 10,000 hours into developing Apple products, yet he co-founded one of the most valuable companies in the world. Jobs' success resulted from a unique combination of creativity, business acumen, marketing skills, and timing. He recognized the market's need for user-friendly technology and designed products that revolutionized industries. However, he also faced setbacks. He was fired from Apple and faced personal struggles that could have derailed lesser individuals. His success wasn't solely due to the 10,000-hour rule. But what about the people who do put in the hours? Gladwell mentions Bill Gates. He estimates that Gates has devoted 10,000 hours to Microsoft, but that's only part of the picture. Gates was already a programming prodigy who attended a prestigious school with advanced computer facilities. His trajectory changed when he met Paul Allen, who shared his passion for computers. They formed a partnership that led to the creation of Microsoft. Gates' success wasn't solely due to the number of hours he worked. His genius and drive were shaped by his environment, education, and chance encounters. As we deconstruct the 10,000-hour rule, we find that Gladwell simplifies the complexities of human achievement. He inadvertently perpetuated a potentially harmful myth. Success is multidimensional and cannot be boiled down to a single formula. The emphasis on 10,000 hours can be detrimental. Here's why. First, the rule implies that anyone can become an expert by working hard. This notion can be demotivating. If you haven't achieved mastery after 10,000 hours, you might question your abilities. Second, the rule promotes obsessive behavior. Some may feel compelled to work tirelessly for 10,000 hours without considering its impact on mental health, relationships, or other aspects of well-being. Finally, the rule ignores the importance of context. The 10,000-hour benchmark is applied universally regardless of individual circumstances or the nature of the skill being learned. So if the 10,000-hour rule is flawed, what should guide your pursuit of mastery? The answer lies in understanding the multifaceted nature of success. Consider the following. 1. Embrace your natural abilities. Recognize your talents and limitations. Pursue endeavors where you have a genuine interest and aptitude. Don't try to force yourself into a mold that doesn't fit. 2. Seek opportunities. Actively seek out chances to learn and grow. Attend events, join communities, and connect with mentors. Your environment can significantly impact your progress and success. 3. Define success on your terms. Determine what mastery means to you. It doesn't always equate to becoming a world-class expert. You can define success based on personal fulfillment, skill proficiency, or any other meaningful metric. 4. Reflect on the journey. Appreciate the process of learning and growing. Find joy in the pursuit of mastery rather than fixating on a specific milestone. The journey itself can be immensely rewarding. 5. Experiment and adapt. Be open to trying new things and adjusting your approach as needed. Don't be afraid to pivot if your current path isn't leading to the success you envision. Adaptability is key. In conclusion, while the 10,000-hour rule offers a compelling narrative, it's crucial to recognize its limitations. Success is a multifaceted phenomenon influenced by various factors beyond just hard work. By embracing your natural abilities, seeking opportunities, defining success on your terms, appreciating the journey, and experimenting, you can chart your path toward mastery. Remember, it's not about the number of hours you put in, but how you approach the journey. So, Go forth, explore your passions, and embrace the complexities that make each individual's path to success unique.